Good day, everyone. Today, we will be talking about criminological research, how it connects with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and the ethical use of AI in conducting research. By the end of this session, you should be able to understand what research is, see examples relevant to criminology, and learn how to choose and refine research topics that are smart, globally relevant, and aligned with our university research agenda. By the end of this discussion, you should be able to define research and criminological research. Relate criminological research with the UN SDGs and the university research agenda. Identify sample criminological research topics. Formulate clear research objectives using the SMART framework. And next meeting, recognize the role of AI in research and how to use it ethically. So to start, let's have a quick poll. I'll read some statement and at least on your mind, you should respond with agree or disagree. So once I read the statement, you need to think whether the statement is true, and if the statement is true, you should agree. And if you think if the statement is false, you should disagree. For this statement, it mentioned that if a criminology research topic is relevant to the community, it automatically aligns with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. This topic, this statement is not correct because a research topic, even if it's relevant to the community, doesn't mean that it automatically aligns with the UN SDGs. We need still to identify whether the topic aligns with the 17 UN SDGs, which we will discuss later. According to the statement, using AI to refine your research questions is plagiarism. This statement is false, so you should disagree. Because using AI to refine is not plagiarism per se. Um, since we can presume in the statement that the original idea may come from the mind of a human. So it means that if the topic comes from your mind and you just asked AI to refine the research question, then it is not plagiarism. Because students, you should be aware that not citing ChatGPT or any other AI tools is already plagiarism. So therefore, if you did not cite AI but you use it, that's plagiarism. Now, in this statement, since you just use AI to refine, it's not plagiarism. Unless the original idea come also from the AI. Criminology research is only valid if it produces new theories. This statement is not true, or you should disagree with this statement, because the theory is a backbone of a research, or theories are the backbone. And in doing research, it doesn't mean that you should produce theories, but you should produce an output, which is not theories. A broad topic is better than a narrow one because it gives more room for discussion. So this statement is false also, or you should disagree with this statement, because the broader the topic, the it means that you did not pick the good topic. Later we will discuss how to choose a good topic, so we can relate this statement to our lesson later. So we will discuss what is smart, how to narrow down topic. Okay, another one. Once a research topic is aligned with an SDGs, there's no need to check the university's research agenda. So this is false or you should disagree with the statement, because later we'll discuss the 17 UN SDGs and the university's research agenda. Your topic should be aligned to the 17 or at least one UN SDG and also to the university research agenda. So now we will, in this slide, the topic or the definition of research is being defined here. According to the definition, research is a systematic and organized process of finding answer to questions. So it is a way of generating knowledge and evidence to address real-world problems. Think of it as a map. It guides us from curiosity to reliable answers. So it's also a method of inquiry that contributes to knowledge development in any field. So generic ang term na research. Now, we should also understand the term criminological research. In particular, it investigates crime, criminal behavior, and the justice system. It validates theories, tests intervention, and studies criminal justice processes. This is essential because criminology doesn't just study crime. It also provides evidence for policies, programs, and justice reforms. So if our topic is focused, of course, in criminology, that is criminological research. Here are examples. So I will provide two topics. So one is the topic which I am the sole author, and the second one is the research wherein I am only a co-author. So both highlights real societal issues and aligned with SDGs, such as gender equality, family well-being, and peace and justice. So this one is what the title is: Breaking Chains, Rebuilding Lives, Paternal Incarceration, Family Well-being, and Support System in the context of the SDGs. It's very obvious that it is responsive to the SDG number 3, which is the good health and well-being, since I aligned the title of the research based on the journal where I submitted my paper. Remember that kasi if we will publish a topic or sabihin natin a research paper in journal, we should always align our topic based on the aims and scope of the journal. So it's very important that if you have a research, you should publish it so that the whole world and everyone can read your paper. So here is the objectives of the study. Since it's a qualitative research wherein I interview women who are currently in the custody of Bulacan Provincial Jail, and their trial is still pending. Their case is still pending. So I just examined their life experiences as incarcerated mothers, how they maintain their maternal roles as a mother. This is another study about the contributory factors of homicide victimization within the province of Pampanga, Philippines. So if you notice in this topic, the locale of the study was mentioned, the focus of the study, as for example as to what particular crime ang focus natin, like for this example it's homicide victimization, and specifically ano dun sa homicide, such as for example the contributory factor. So it's very specific, and here is the aim of the study and the scope. So from 2019 to 2022. siguro, what is missing in that title is the coverage, which is 2019 to 2022. Remember that if you're looking for the title, you must at least mention the coverage. These are sample criminology research titles. Notice how they are specific. Contextualized in Bulacan or Nervi provinces and focus on criminological problems such as online gambling, burglary, gender issues, and the role of barangay tanods. So we have one which is the exploring the motivation for mendicancy among non-destitute youth in the city of Malolos, Bulacan. So this topic na-curious ang grupo because of the fact that there are a lots of mendicants or youth mendicants in the city of Malolos. So, pag kumakain ka, di ba, a youth may, or sabihin nating bata pa nga, no, minsan ang kakalabit sa'yo. So, that's one. Another topic is about the correlation of the online gambling and the development of deviant behavior among players. So, pag daw ba, it's a correlation because kapag daw ba ikaw ay naglalaro ng online gambling at ikaw ay ito daw, ibig na ba sabihin kapag tumataas ang online gambling tendency mo, tumataas din ba ang pagiging deviant mo bilang isang player or bilang isang tao? Ganun. So, correlation to, no? Again, when we say correlation, it doesn't mean causation. Hindi siya cause and effect. It's just whether tumataas ba yung tendency na siya ay gambler tapos siya ay deviant. Parang ganun. Then we have, this is another good study. They analyze the awareness of the cybersecurity or yung mga digitally dependent small business owners, wherein they determine whether the owners are aware of the cybersecurity awareness. Yan. So, sa Malolos yan. So, kinuha nila listahan sa munisipyo and then nagpa-survey sila. Yeah. Para malaman if the employers are aware of the cybersecurity. Okay. Another one, yung vulnerability ng convenience stores. Example, yung mga Alphamart, O-Save, Dali. However, the location is in Bulacan. So, they determined whether vulnerable pa itong mga convenience store. Yan. So, gender non-conformity. So, the living experiences of LGBTQIA and criminology students at Bulacan State University. So, this is a qualitative or phenomenological. Kasi when you hear the word live experience, usually, dapat ang pasok sa utak nyo, phenomenological. We have the assessing digital literacy and technological capacities of Pulilan Municipal Police Officers. So, enhancing tools for effective law enforcement functions. Dito, tiningnan yung kakayanan ng mga police sa Pulilan Police Station, whether sila ba ay techie, ganyan. Ito namang pangalawa ay they examine whether yung pagbablog as a tool ba na ginagamit ng PNP ay nakapagpataas ng public trust sa kanila. For number 3, dito tiningnan nila, it's quantitative kasi gumamit sila rito ng inferential statistics na kung saan tiningnan nila yung educational attainment ng isang tao at ang pagiging deviant nila. Parang dun sa gambling kanina. So, tiningnan nila yung correlation nun if magkalapit ba. No? So, educational attainment and deviant behavior. So, it's inferential kasi kinumpara nila if kapag ba ikaw ay nakakulong, majority ba sa kanila non-educated or educated. Parang ganun. So, that's one. Another is, ano ba yung impact ng social media in shaping deviant behavior among selected students of Bulacan State? Yan. Okay, and this study naman, redefining second chances. So, it's a quantitative study. Obvious naman sa title nakalagay. Minsan, yung research design nilalagay nila sa title yan. So that yung mga reader makikita agad nila, title pa lang, oh, it's a quantitative. Yan. And then, ito, tinignan kasi nila dito, ano ng employer sa pagtingin nila, ano yung pagtingin nila sa mga former PDLs, whether i-hire ba nila ito o hindi. Ayan. So, syempre kasi meron na yung record. Another, we have effectiveness of barangay tanod in responding. Ayan. Kasi, ito ay ginawa ng mga researcher, katulong si Sir Carlos dito, because it's very important na kung ikaw ay barangay tanod, alam mo kung paano mag-respond kung may nabiktima ng rape case, diba? So, they conducted this study in Bulacan, lahat ng barangay. Sabi ko nga, hindi naman kailangan lahat kasi pagka kasi nagko-quantitative ka, hindi mo naman talaga dapat makuha yung 100% ng tao. Kasi costly din yun, masyadong mamamahal. But gusto kasi nila ay lahat daw matanong, kaya pinush pa rin nila na lahat. So, dito nila nakita na hindi aware lahat ng barangay tanod sa pag-respond sa mga cases na related to this one. Yan. So, yun. So, it will raise, syempre, actually, parang meron silang proposal dyan dun sa municipality as their output. Kasi walang sense ang research kapag walang output. Bulacan State University research agenda reflects national development priorities and promote interdisciplinary studies through 7 research program divisions. But ito ay yung relevant lang sa atin. Division 3, which is the education, language, social science, and humanities. Division 5, business and public governance. Division 6, artificial intelligence, digital technology, and innovation. Criminology research often aligns with this division, particularly in areas such as peace and security, law enforcement, gender and development, digital crimes, and youth delinquency. So, when choosing a topic, we must align it with 2 important frameworks. The university research agenda, which ensure our work contributes to institutional priorities, and the UN SDG, which make our research globally relevant. So, if we balance both, our studies gain local and international impact. So, again, it's very important na ina-align din natin ang research natin dito. So, ma'am, lahat po ba? Hindi. You can only choose one. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na University Research Agenda. Marami siya since it's composed of 9. But, ilan lang ang applicable sa atin. So, kung ano lang pumasok na applicable sa atin, yun yung i-align natin. Kung anong topic kailangan align dyan. And the UNSDG. Ang UNSDG, 17 talaga siya. Pero, itong mga binanggit ko, pwedeng merong mga goals na wala dito pero pasok sa topic nyo. So, hindi nyo siya ililimit dito sa minention ko lang. No, so, like for example, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, reduce inequalities. Ito talaga yung pasok, no? Peace, justice, and strong institutions, and partnership for the goals. So, ang 17 SCG, it's a global framework for sustainable development. So, again, your research must align with it. So, you must use this goals in determining which particular topic ang pipiliin ninyo. Okay? So, for instance, if we study, for example, gender sensitivity training and gender-based violence, that aligns with SDG 5, diba? So, that's gender equality. It also aligns with the criminology discipline because it addresses crime prevention, law enforcement training, and social justice. So, malawak din kasi yung social science. So, pwede rin siyang pumasok doon. So, ito, kung makikita niyo yung example na to, nandyan yung topic. Ito yung topic. And this is the aligned SDG. So, yung dun sa assignment ninyo, pipili lang kayo ng isang SDG dun, topic, and then ano yung SDG na natapat, naka-aligned. Ayan. So, okay na to. I mentioned it earlier. Okay na tayo dyan. So, ngayon, you must learn on how to choose and narrow a research topic. Kasi, a good research topic is relevant to criminology and current social issues. Example of which, I watched this in KMJS, no, wherein a woman, yung babae, ang nakitang palutang-lutang sa dagat. So, yan ay very trending. No? Yan ay current social issue because it's very unusual sa isang babae ang mabiktima ng crime. So, kindly revisit. Tingnan nyo, ilan ba, or you may ask the PNP statistics as to the victims. Ilan ang lalaki, ilan ang babae. Kasi for us, being a licensed criminologist and a researcher, mataas ang stats na lalaki ang nagiging victim. Pero in that sense na babae, medyo unusual yun. And ano kaya yung motive behind that, 'di ba? So, gender, medyo gender issues din yan. And then, bakit kailangan relevant and current? So, you look sa mga news articles, mga trending, at yung mga researches na bago. Like, maraming studies about AI and other studies about technology. Yan. Bakit bago? Kasi syempre, mabilis na nga ang mundo. So, we need to look for a research topic na hindi na nung araw or yung luma pa. Kasi naisip na yan before. Your topic must be also specific and manageable within your scope and resources. Usually kapag undergraduate, hindi naman talaga malaki ang scope. 'Di ba? Kasi nga undergraduate Unlike yung masters and PhD, usually province and regional. So sa inyo, usually barangay lang o kaya municipality kasi nga undergraduate. Ito pa lang yung phase na natututunan ninyong gumawa ng research. So therefore, para din hindi ganong magastos yan. So specific lang. Kaya nga, kundi Bulacan-Bulacan, Malolos, o kaya barangay. Okay? So, it must also meaningful and contribute to theoretical or practical knowledge. So, dapat may paggagamitan ang inyong research. Hindi siya after nun ay wala tayong maging gamit. Kaya nga nire-require ko na after the thesis or after the study, merong output na ipopropose natin sa LGU or kung kanino pa man or project siya. So, that's one. Last one, it must be aligned with the SDGs or institutional research agenda. This is what I mentioned, no? Kailangan ang topic naka-align sa agenda. Okay? So again, when choosing a topic, avoid being too broad. For example, your focus is crime in the Philippines. No, masyado siyang malawak kasi Philippines. So, you need to narrow it down. Trends in, for example, your topic should be trends in property crime in Quezon City, 2020-2023. So, it's focus, no? Kasi masyado maliit lang yung scope. So, this is another example ng mga topics na too broad. For example, we have the police visibility, that's broad. So, this is how to refine it. So, we focus on the effect of police presence. Also, that's police visibility, right? And how it affect the reduction of crime. Crime theories. So, masyadong malawak. So, this one, naging specific tayo sa broken windows theory in school-based crime prevention, diba? So, nare-refine natin yung research problem. Cybercrime. Impact of social media usage. Yan. Naging specific tayo sa social media usage on cyberbullying incidents among teenagers. So, that is how to refine the research problem. Now, we will proceed with the formulation of the research objective. So, after choosing a topic, we now need to set objectives. So, the general objective gives the broad goal. For example, To determine the impact of police visibility on urban crime rates, then we break it down into specific objectives which make the study more structured and measurable. Again, magkaiba ang topic ninyo at magkaiba ang research objectives. Kasi usually, research objectives are the either interrogative or declarative form. Ibig sabihin, isang patanong, isang pa-question. So, ito ngayon yung mga sasagutin ninyo sa inyong chapter 4. Okay? So, sometimes we use, ito yung tinatawag kasi nating statement of the problem. Yan. So, ito yung general objectives. Ito yung parang topic nyo na kinonvert ninyo into interrogative or declarative statement. So, here is the specific objectives. Kung meron ka ng general objective, kailangan mo siyang biyakin, di ba, into different SOP na sasagutin mo sa chapter 4 para masagot nyo ang inyong general objective. Kasi yung general objective cannot be answered solely just to answer your topic. Maraming sasagutin yun. Like, for example, para sa masagot mo dito yung general objective, you need first to describe the level of police visibility in the community. Then, analyze mo rin yung types of frequency of reported crimes in those areas. And once you already have the data, you will correlate police visibility with crime reduction rates. Yan. So, magkaiba pa yan. So, yun ang gagamitin to answer the general objectives. Kasi ang hinahanap nga natin dito sa general objective is kung yung police visibility daw ba ay may effect sa pag-reduce ng crime. Kaya, kailangan natin yung mga data na to. So, for us to understand what's happening, kasi tatanungin din kayo dyan gaano ba kataas ang police visibility sa area na yun? Gaano kadalas mag-report ng crime? And then, paano ngayon? At gaano rin kababa o yung na-reduce na crime rate? No, yan. So, para malaman natin kung talagang effective ang police visibility, we need to determine those data. So again, if you're looking for a topic, it must be aligned with what we called our SMART criteria. Okay? So it must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So ito siya. When we say specific, clear, and focus. Okay? When we say measurable, nasusukat, quantifiable, and observable. Kaya nga tayo gagamit ng instrument because doon natin masusukat yun. It must also be realistic given the time and resources that we have. Like for example, kaya bang mag-gather a data within 6 months or 5 months? Kung kaya, go. Kung hindi kakayanin, so hindi kaya yung longitudinal study. When we say longitudinal, yung mga 10 years, 5 years, hindi pwede. Kasi ibig sabihin, 5 years pa kayo bago kayo graduate. So, cannot be, di ba? So, it must be relevant. So, it must be aligned with the research topic. Ibig sabihin, yung tinuro ko kanina, dapat siya ay current, ganyan. It must be aligned with the SDG and the yung isa yung sa University Research Agenda. And dapat may time frame kayo. Kailangan maglagay kayo ng timeline. For example, from this month until November, dun kami sa paggawa tayo ng ng instrument, ng chapter 1, 2, 3, ganyan. And then by December, pwede na kapag na-validate na yung data, we can start gathering data. Ganun. So maglalagay kayo every month ng target. Diba? Para may susundan kayo. So, ito yung mga example. Ayan. So, aside from that, ito naman yung topic niya, no? So, pag sinabi natin na sa time-bound pala, ilalagay nyo rin dun sa topic kung ang coverage ay 3 years o kaya kunyari 2019 to 2022, ganyan. So, it's very important na nakalagay din yun. Kasi kapag hindi, mako-confuse yung reader. Kailan ba to ginawa? Kasi nagkakaiba yung data depende sa panahon. Kasi kaminsan, uulit din yung study. 'Di ba? Pagka, for example, pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic, ganyan. So, magkaiba yung date. Pwedeng pareho yung topic, tsaka yung kukuning data, pero magkaiba yung time frame. So, yun ay magkaibang research. Kasi magkaiba yung time frame. Kaya it's very important na ma-mention mo yung time frame. Kasi hindi pwedeng parehong topic, tapos parehos din yung time frame. Hindi pwede yun. So, pwede kayong umulit lang ng topic kung wala pang ganong topic na nagawa sa lugar na yun at sa taon na yun. Ganun. Tapos, dito sa achievable, i-add ko lang, pag kayo for example, kaya nyo ba interviewin yung mga senator? Mahirap, di ba? So, hindi siya pwede. Kaya, hindi siya achievable. Kaya, titingnan nyo rin yun. Ayan. So, yun lang for the SMART criteria objectives. So, here are some examples SMART aligned titles. So, we have the effect of police visibility. Okay, effect. Yung titingnan nyo, chop-chopin natin yung topic. Effect of police visibility saan? On crime incidents, saan din? Lokal. Barangay Malolos. This is just for example, if Malolos is a barangay. No? I-assume nyo na barangay ang Malolos. No? And ano yung time frame niya? January to June 2024. This is an example of a SMART topic. Okay? So, ganito kayo mag-iisip ng topic ninyo para very specific. Hindi siya vague, diba? Malinaw. Next. Ito naman, if for example, your topic is focus sa isang program impact. Yan. Usually, evaluation ang ginagamit na term, assessing the effectiveness, ganun. Evaluating the impact, ganyan. So, ano yung tinitingnan nila dito? The anti-bullying campaigns, yan. Sino? Selected senior high schools in Bulacan. So, school year 2024 to 2025. So, tingnan nyo, very specific. Pag tinanong anong program nandyan, anong ginagawa, assessing effectiveness or evaluating the effectiveness. Minsan ganun yung ginagamit nila. Ito pa. Another topic. Okay. Ito it's a comparative study naman. Okay. So, it's a comparative study of what? Recidivism rates. Ayan. Dapat by this time, alam niyo yung definition ng recidivism, di ba? Saan? Among drug offenders before and after the implementation of barangay-based rehabilitation program. Okay? So, dito nakikita natin that there's a comparison. Kaya nga very important ang timeline. So, before and after implementation. So, ito ay masusukat. Tama? Kasi meron tayong mga records naman and pwede nating malaman based doon kung nagkakaroon ba ng recidivism rates. Okay? So, this is another topic na maganda. Ito naman yung example ng topic na pag nakita mo pa lang yung title, aligned na agad sa SDG na gender equality. Okay? So, because this topic focus on examining the relationship between gender sensitivity training and reported cases of gender-based violence in Malolos City Police Station in the year 2023. Yan. So, that's another example and that's visible. Another topic na pang-technology, okay, at related sa crime is if you're assessing, for example, the impact of CCTV surveillance on theft incidents in selected commercial areas of San Jose del Monte from January to December 2024. So this one, nag-focus sila sa isang geographic area ng San Jose del Monte at dun lang sa January to December na timeline, diba? So, clear din ang variables natin. What we are looking is the theft incidents and the CCTV presence. So, yun. So, that's another topic. Ako, napunta na ako sa San Jose del Monte. Medyo talagang maraming crime ang nangyayari doon, no? So, with due respect sa mga taga roon, di ba, medyo talagang magulo. So, ito yung mga topic na kung titingnan natin, hindi siya specific, di ba? Crime in the Philippines, broad to, masyadong broad. Bullying in schools, di ba? So, that's broad. Now, ito yung mga specific. Ito yung smart titles na specific talaga. Okay? So, hindi ko na ito babasahin, no? Kasi ano ko na ito kanina yata. So, ito yung parang summary niya kung bakit sinasabi natin ito ay bakit broad siya at bakit hindi siya smart. Ito siya. O, basahin nyo na lang yan, ha? Ayan. So, ito naman smart version. O, ginawa lang smart ba? Tapos, ito na. Okay? So, I will give the presentation naman and read this example. So, now I'd like to hear your questions. Feel free to ask about research processes, how to align with SDGs, or how to refine your topic. Again, class, yung process should be you're looking for example, you're interested in cybercrime. Ano ngayon ang topic na pwede sa cybercrime na nangyayari sa paligid? Na saan namin gagawin, sino i-interviewin, no? So, mga ganun, titingnan nyo yun. So, wag mo yung masyadong mag-isip na ito na ba agad yung topic kasi we will still have another activity to determine whether yung bang topic na nakuha ninyo ay yun na ba? Kasi tuturuan ko kayo na kasi maghahanap pa talaga kayo ng mga related study doon sa topic ninyo. Doon nyo makikita if redundant na ba, overstudied na ba, nagawa na ba yung topic nyo. Kasi kung hindi, syempre, tingnan nyo yung makikitang related study and tingnan nyo kung yan ay qualitative, example. Ay, yan ay quantitative, for example. Kung quantitative yan, ibig sabihin, baka wala pang nagagawang qualitative or interview, ayan. So, kung ano yung hindi pa nagagawa ng researcher, yun ang gagawin nyo. Okay? So, later, tuturo ko sa inyo yan kasi meron tayong tinatawag na research gap. Yun ang gagamitin ninyo para maging basis kung bakit inyo kinonduct o pinili ang topic na yan. So, for now, you just need to think for a topic and then, i-aano pa natin yan, i-align pa natin depende kung ano ang research gap doon sa interested na sa topic na gusto ninyo. Okay? So, to close, let me leave you with this. Choosing a topic is not about finding something to study, but finding something worth studying. As criminology researchers, our task is to produce knowledge that improves justice, safety, and human dignity. Not only to pass this subject, no, but of course, we need to study to contribute something in the community. Thank you and good night.